Welcome to Tavern Tales. Today's tale, courtesy of That Name Hurts Me. Am I the antagonist for admitting to my daughter that I hate what she changed her name to? I, 39 female, was born in Canada but was taken to India weeks after I turned 18 and was married by my parents to my cousin who I barely knew. I was treated well by my husband. He was polite, paid for school there, took me on dates, and never forced me to do anything. And his love is why we reconnected later when he came to Canada. But his mother hated me and was always yelling, calling me useless, demeaning me, and even vowing to get me divorced so my husband could marry my sister. When I got pregnant, I had to go. I couldn't subject my child to that witch. Our maid helped me return to Canada and I named my daughter Sahira, a fake name, after her. I have a good life, great job, amazing children, and am in a PhD program now, and it is because that maid took a big risk just to help me. My daughter became hateful to the name Sahira at about 10, and then pretended to have a more typical Canadian name or used a nickname. She stopped appreciating that she was named after the woman who helped us escape hell. When Sahira turned 18, she changed her name to Ruhani, again fake. I can live with the name change, but Ruhani is so close to my mother-in-law's name, it triggers me. I've told her and she doesn't care. My psychologist has helped me with this, but it hurts. I accept she is not Sahira anymore, but I cannot say Ruhani even if everyone does, so I use pet names like Baby or Sweetie. I thought she wouldn't notice, but she has. I'm pregnant again and we learn it's a girl. My husband said we can name her Sahira, and my daughter said, do it, so you can call me Ruhani. With all my stress, I got angry and said, she can't be replaced and I still hate her new name. It started an argument between us, with my daughter calling me a selfish jerk for not accepting her new name. My husband understands as he knows I hate his mother, but my sons are on my daughter's side and said to postiers saying, people would agree I am the antagonist. I do not like them using that word, but am I? It's hard to say who is the antagonist in this story, because as always, there's two sides to a coin, and in this case, they're both valid in my opinion. Our traveler had to suffer through the constant abuse of her mother-in-law, to the extent of leaving her country in hopes of escaping the toxicity. It must be heartbreaking as well as trauma-inducing to discover your own daughter changing her name to someone who once abused you. On the other hand, a name should exclusively belong to you, and you should be entitled to change your own name to whatever you want. Here's some additional information. I do respect my daughter in that if she doesn't want to be called by her old name, then I will not call her by that. However, I can't let her give her name to her soon-to-be-born sister. While my mother-in-law could do that, I cannot replace my daughter with her sister. My daughter is my princess and my perfect girl. There is no replacing her no matter what her name is, even if I will never be able to like that name. She was well aware of the name of my mother-in-law and treatments towards me when she chose a name. I have never hid from her why I raised her here in Canada and not in India. When she announced her new name, I begged her not to choose that one and reminded her why, but she just doesn't care. However, I don't think she would change her name to my mother-in-law's just to spite me. Now, let's hear the community's opinions, not the antagonist. This is rooted in trauma for you. I can't imagine how it'd feel if my daughter named herself nearly after my abuser. Your daughter is old enough to be more understanding and considerate of the situation. Even if the name was important to her, it isn't wrong to expect a bit of grace in the situation. Also, reusing a name I'd already used would make me uncomfortable. Not the antagonist. While I don't think your daughter is an antagonist for wanting a name change, but for choosing a name that causes you to relive traumatic experiences. You stated you were fine with the name change, so in my mind, if you told her why that specific name bothered you before you changed it, and she chose that, that makes her an antagonist. Also doesn't make sense to want to change it if she was bullied to another foreign sounding name. This is just my mind running overtime, but is there any way your mother-in-law has means of contacting daughter? It seems like your daughter has some resentment towards you and, at least from this post, it doesn't seem warranted. And here we have an update from the traveler. I I tried talking to my daughter about her old name and why she hated it, but she gave wishy-washy reasons on it never suiting her. She got angry when I asked if it was because of bullying. I asked if she cared about my maid's sacrifice, and she said she didn't, and that what I went through in India did not seem bad. I asked if she cared how similar her name is to my mother-in-law's name. She said she didn't, and it was my issue to get over it, and didn't want to hear any more nicknames or to use therapy as an excuse. After that, I don't know, I kind of regressed mentally and started having nightmares of India. I guess I got overwhelmed by stress because of that, being pregnant and my PhD program. So I visited my brother, Fayez, 22, in Brampton for a weekend. He lives in my property there and told me that he got a job in England. He left a few days ago and I have started the process of moving to Ontario. As my daughter goes to university here in British Columbia, she's not going with us. I guess it just was that if being around my own daughter was hurting me so much to the point I was scared I'd miscarry, then I needed to be gone for both of our sakes. Making arrangements to continue working for my PhD was the most stressful thing, but that's done. Ever since I made the decision to move, I felt so much better and so free. I honestly can't wait to be gone from here. I will continue to pay for my daughter's school, living expenses and her therapy, but maybe by living alone she'll understand what it was like for me when it was just us after I escaped. Just maybe she'll learn everything we have is because of that maid. I know I was wrong to spoil her and always indulge her, but she's always been the light that got me home. Part of me feels as if I am abandoning her over something as stupid as a name. But soon, she will be the age I was when I had her, and every girl needs to grow up and learn empathy. I have tried to be a better mother than my own. I just hope that this is what is best for her. On the other hand, my husband and boys are so excited to move to Ontario, so I know we'll have a good time there. After reading the update, I find myself sympathizing with the mother. I still firmly believe that you're entitled to your name, but at the same time, if it's causing so much suffering to your mother, it's probably better to sacrifice some in return for the well-being of your mother. From the sounds of it, the daughter seems a little insensitive. It's tragic and upsetting to hear that the family is being divided by what is ultimately caused by the mother-in-law. I hope the separation between the daughter will give both sides the necessary time to recover, grow, and reconcile. And that's a wrap for tonight. Be sure to visit us next time. And if you want to, leave a like and subscribe.